citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107.
Let's talk about real life issues, love and relationships. Let's have a good time with the missus. Let's talk about celebrities. Let's talk about caring events. Let's talk about things you don't see on regular TV. So join in on Peachy Tea Tyme. Peachy Tea Tyme. Tune in on Peachy Tea Tyme. Peachy Tea Tyme. Come join us on Peachy Tea Tyme. Peachy Tea Tyme. Join us on Peachy Tea Tyme. Peachy Tea Tyme. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, it's your girl, the missus with the kisses, baby. Mwah. Hey, everybody. Hey, how y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing tonight? Again, my name is the missus, baby, or you can just go ahead and call me Miss Peachy. Okay, so that's what everybody call me anyway. That's what they call me, Miss Peachy. I don't know why y'all can see it's part of the green screen, but it's okay. It's okay. Because the show's still gonna go on, damn it. It's still gonna go on. Explicit language. Explicit language. Y'all, you know, we love it when we explicit language. From time to time. Not all the time. Just sometimes. And also allegedly, baby. But ain't nothing, when I say nothing, ain't nothing allegedly about tonight, baby. Because we have the family. Y'all already know how we do on Wednesdays. We pull up and our families pull up with us. Okay, so we do have the family of Phat Phat, baby. Phat Phat, Phat Phat. I love that name. Phat Phat. We call my guy baby Phat Phat just as well. But we have the Titus family here tonight, family and friends just as well. And baby, they are here to tell us Phat Phat's story. Okay, we are gonna learn so much about him. And then, of course, you already know if you've been watching Peachy Tea Tyme, we are going to continue to keep his name alive. So it's not just one night, baby. It's not just one night. We will continue to keep that name alive. We do have a special tribute video tonight. We do have that. So y'all already know I can't go no further, baby. I gotta bring up my peoples. I got to. I gotta bring them up. Then the family gonna come up. But right now, let me bring up these folks that be up here with me every doggone Wednesday. And that's Mr. Jason and Charlotte. Let me give them both the doorbell. Who is it? What's goody,
Yo,
baby? What's goody with y'all
what it
city,
do?
baby?
What up, though?
Hey, what up, though? What up, though?
Yeah, yeah.
Jason, how
What's
you
going on?
feeling tonight?
We here. I'm intrigued to hear about this family, about Phat Phat. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my cousin already. You hear me? So I'm excited
Yes.
to walk through this family and walk through it with them and hug on them and love on them. So I'm good though. But other than that, I'm blessed and highly favored. You heard?
All right now.
Now, Jason, let me show you something. Let me show you something, Jason. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm
Ain't
Got
this the
finna
receipts,
picture?
put
Jason.
up a
You got
flyer.
receipts.
I'm
the,
finna put up a flyer, baby.
the
Yeah,
anticipation.
This might be one of the first. This family might be one of the first. We don't see too many coming from Minnesota, baby.
It is.
Minnesota, baby. Jason, where you at right now?
That's right, man. I'm in Minnesota as well. Yeah.
Oh, I
That
couldn't hear
part.
you. We couldn't hear you.
You
Where
say,
you
oh,
at
you
right
can
now?
hear. I'm in Minnesota as well. You heard?
Yes, Jason is in Minnesota as well, you guys. So when I found out that Princess was from Minnesota, I was like, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Come
We
through.
got it is some black folks down there in Minnesota. Now, I don't mean it like that. I don't mean like
I
that.
read, hey,
it might be a handful.
You know, Princess.
community is
Is all
strong.
of y'all down there from Minnesota? All of y'all live in Minnesota? Yeah, yeah, they shaking their head. Do y'all lock y'all doors?
Oh, they say yeah.
Yeah, they
Of
say
course,
yeah.
why wouldn't they? And they should.
Oh,
Yeah, you know, Princess Jason told us he don't lock his doors. I told him, don't you ever come on
See
PT time
now,
and say no shit
you're
like that to me.
telling other like you know what I'm saying? Like that is wild. Like okay,
You just don't know how excited I am to
but
find some
at that point
Minnesota
I was living
people.
in Prior Lake. You know what I'm saying? Like the far end of it. So thank you, Crystal.
Look at him. Look,
Thank you,
oh my
Princess. I
God.
appreciate
Y'all,
that.
I wish they was on the screen so y'all could have saw that. They were like, oh, shit. Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about. Yeah.
yeah. You know what I mean?
wow.
Charlotte.
What's
You
going on? What's going on?
girl,
What's
we
going on?
good. We good. You know, we in the A baby, so we always keep our doors locked. I don't give a damn where you at.
I don't know now. I think I live in Mayberry, so nah.
You don't lock your doors either?
There's sometimes some
You
nights,
just
you
forget
know.
garage door be open.
Yeah,
You
the
just
garage
forget,
door
man.
be
Like,
open, and yeah.
Ah, y'all, it is so good for Charlotte to joke and play with y'all tonight. Let's give Charlotte a hand for all the jokes that she had for
I am serious. You wake up in the morning and be like, oh, I still got my cookies. Did nobody take them?
that part, like, damn. I look at
Okay,
my app and it
I
say
made
open
it.
22 hours. I got that. We
I
good
can't
though.
with
You
y'all.
know?
I just cannot with y'all. I just cannot.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, y'all already know we got the family here tonight, baby. And
Absolutely.
we gonna act the same, whether it's on a Monday, a Wednesday, or a damn Friday. Okay, we gonna
Friday,
act
yeah.
the same. So
And look,
y'all is crazy.
here's the best part, man, is that we all can continue to be family. So if you want to do that,
Yes.
make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that like, and hit that bell notification. So when we go live, you know exactly when and where and what we got going on. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and the Roku app. So if you have a Roku enabled TV or app, or excuse me, or a device, please go ahead and download Peachy Tea Tyme, and that's time spelled with the YTYME. So then that way you can watch this on the big screen. You heard? That'd be the dopest thing ever. You feel me? Now the dope thing too is that if you want to watch all of the previous episodes that we've done, you know, get caught up on any of the families that we've had, you can go watch that on Peachy Tea Tyme on the Roku app. It's the exact same way you download Hulu, Netflix, Paramount, all of the exact same way. You just type in Peachy Tea Tyme, and then you can look for all of the families through all of our catalog. Now, we do go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then we also have some pop-ups, so you don't want to miss those. Please hit that bell notification, hit those thumbs up, and then let us know y'all in the chat, man. Where are you guys residing at? I know we got some Atlanta people in the building, so let us know in the chat where y'all reside at from. Where y'all from?
And the best thing about, well, not the best thing, but one of the best things about watching us on TV, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, give y'all a little secret. Baby, my lip gloss be popping, baby, on TV.
Is that
Not popping.
Every
Yeah.
time. You know, sometimes I turn around and I watch us on TV too. You know, I have to make sure, I have to look at us again. Make sure, see if we messed up somewhere, something like that. And I be like, dang, that girl lip gloss be popping, baby. So that's a good thing too, y'all. That's a good thing too. Well, y'all, let's go ahead and bring up our family. Hey, later. Let's go ahead and bring up our family, y'all. Again, I'm so thankful that princess decided to reach back out to me and also say, girl, yes, 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 I will come on the platform, baby. So I thank her so much and thank her most importantly for trusting me, trusting Jason, trusting Charlotte, trusting Peachy Tea Time as a whole. With her son's story. So again, Princess, thank you so much. But y'all finna meet Princess, don't worry. But we finna bring up our peoples, baby. We finna bring up our peoples first. So I know y'all down. Look, Jesse down there like, oh shit. Oh shoot. Am I finna come up first? Jesus, okay, who is she finna call? Jesse, it ain't gonna be you just yet. You got some more time. But I'm finna bring up Miss Shakina, baby. Miss Shakina, it is your time to shine, baby. You finna get that doorbell, okay? Here go your doorbell. Who is it? Hi, Shakina. Shakina, you are on mute right now. Now, one thing about Shakina, baby, Shakina ain't had no issues at all when she came. She was like, baby, front and center, I'm ready. I am ready. Shakina, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I'm just going to say okay. I got a lot of personal stuff going on. Today is actually my uncle's birthday, and he's probably one of the first persons that in my life that was where his life was taken, and I got to see the
Mm,
impact of how it feels to be on the side of somebody's life being taken before their time. So yeah, but
mm.
yeah. So I'm here. I'm present.
Well, we are definitely sorry over here at Peachy Tea Time. My condolences to
Condolences,
you
yeah.
and your family just as well. But baby, over here at Peachy Tea Time, I like to say that it's somewhat like a healing process too.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna still make you laugh a little bit, but at
Yeah.
the same time, we still gonna continue to pray for you and your family no matter what.
Thank you.
Okay,
I
you are
love
so
laughing.
welcome.
So,
You are so welcome and thank you. Please tell us your relation to Phat Phat.
ooh, I am Fat
Ooh,
Fat. I was given the title by Fat Fat. I am his utter mutter.
this other mother.
His utter mutter because Princess and I worked together maybe a couple of years before Fat Fat's life was taken, and we became friends over time. I think I've earned that title now. We officially say, yeah, we can use that word. So I was, someone we worked together. We were close. We had similarities in a lot of senses where, like, her mom's birthday is like June 1st. My mom's birthday is June 2nd. So my mom's birthday just passed too, and her mom's birthday. And I had a lot of kids where she had about as half as many kids as I did. So I had six, she had three,
Jesus.
and we just, connected and became really cool. And I was going through some stuff maybe around, at the end of 2009, where I could really use a friend, and she was that friend for me. And to be completely transparent, I was in a situation where I had lost everything and I needed somewhere to stay temporarily. And so, Princess has always been the type of person that is a giver and has an open heart. And at this point in time, her kids were sick and tired of her being that type of person. And in the beginning, I just needed somewhere to put my stuff,
Mhm.
and over the course of the day of trying to get some things settled or whatever, it was actually Fat Fat that came to her and said, "Hey, let them stay here until they can get everything sorted out." After her babies told her that they didn't want anybody else, staying there with them. And it ended up being like this, like 3 month process that was only supposed to be for about a week. And so our families just got really close and connected. And from that, we would sit and talk about our lives. She was in school. I was working, looking for work and different things like that. And we just really decided to start to observe our life and how we're raising our children and the kind of the decisions that we're making. We came across this adage: if you teach a boy, you teach an individual, but if you teach a girl, you teach a nation. So we had started our organization, Standard Edition Women, informally, just like sitting at the kitchen table and talking about the things that we wanted for our family and how we wanted, to really focus on metacognition and the thinking of how you're thinking and the decisions that you're making, and then bringing our children into the folds of that, and
Okay.
just really got close. And so during that time, Phat Phat is an irresistible person to be around, and so he just had. And I'm going to say has, because I still have a relationship with Phat Phat. This
Amen.
of how he shows up, and with a smile and with humor and just with love, and just a genuine personality, and just somewhere along the way he started calling me his utter mother, because I was always, if he needed to get a hold of his mom, I was able to get a hold of his mom. If I needed to get a hold of his mom, he was able to get a hold of his mom. And it was just one of those things. I really don't have all the words. There's so much that I could say, but
Aw.
that began to be the thing. And then we moved out. And then, our ideas, our business, our families just kind of like blended and flourished from there.
All right, Shakina. Shakina said, just in case I don't get to say shit else, let me go ahead and say all this right quick.
I can
Let me
only
get
do
it
it
all in right
sometimes. Yeah.
quick.
It's a whole other
Listen, you
story.
did a good job.
You did a great job. A great job. You really did. Um, the way that you spoke on Princess speak volumes. You know,
Mhm.
Prince, just from all of that, one thing that stuck with me is Princess let you and your kids in. You
Yeah.
know, she ain't just let one person in.
No.
She let your kids come too. She's
Yeah.
like, okay, we can do this. We can do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So,
That's
kudos
probably
to
why she probably didn't care about me so much. It probably was the kids.
like them kids, they need a place to stay too. They need a place to stay too.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and bring up Shanasha. Shanasha, girl, it's your time. It's your time, girl. Here go your doorbell. Who is it?
Hey now, hey now.
Hey, girl, I love your spirit, girl. Oh my gosh. I love your spirit, Shanasha.
You
How
know,
are you?
Princess didn't like me at first because she thought I was too bougie when we met in 2006 at the Minneapolis Urban League where we both were working. And then my attitude, I'm like a sour patch kid. So once Princess got the she was like,
But this is good.
Bittersweet,
after a
bittersweet.
while, this is okay. And now I am unofficially, um, princesses. I want to say, Princess and I, we have these wonderful, and we never record these conversations, and we always say that we should. Princess and I have these amazing 1 and 2 hour conversations.
Mm.
And they are the most deepest conversations about, you know what? I'm gonna say it be feeling like Mahatma Gandhi and Maya Angelou is talking to each other.
Okay, we gonna clock that T right there, baby.
And when Phat Phat died, I remember this so vividly. I can see it because I tell Princess every now and then, like these visions pop in my mind. Princess Anne, Lupa thick thigh. I call her thick thighs because I taught her how to work in high heels. You don't walk with your ankles, you walk with your thighs. And Princess Anne was I can Princess can tell you how old she was, but it was so and I said this to Princess and I say it to her on and off when we're talking. I always wonder what strength gave her the power to
Mm.
stand by that casket. Princess stood by the casket and people walked up to the casket like they do during the service, and she was the most I wanna almost say she was glowing. The way she was just I want, and I have to use this word because black women, We use this word, um sometimes it gets used against us. Princess was the strongest mom I've ever seen in losing a child.
Mm.
I've never seen a mom at the first of all, I've never seen a mom at the casket and she ain't fainted, fallen out, or doing how we do because the pain is so great.
Yes.
Or I know moms who don't even go to the casket because they know if I go there, it's not going to be good just for the whole everybody. And I got to, think about my family and the kids and all that. But Princess stood by that casket talking to people because people were coming up. They were crying. They were telling their stories about Phat Phat, how much they loved him, how much, they cared about him. It was a million young people. And you know what? It was so many young people there. I was shocked because in my mind, I was thinking, you got 3,000 followers and 3,000 friends on Facebook. You don't know all them friends.
Exactly. You are
All
right about
those
that.
people, all those youth knew Phat Phat. Like somehow he went to the school, he played at the park, he hung out down here at this place. So everybody knew him directly. And that was so amazing to me. But I remember how, I said to Princess, I know you fell out like a week later, you fell out. Because we were at work. We worked at the Urban League when Phat Phat was killed. And I said, I know you fell out. I know you did your whole. Princess said, I put my feet in the soil. And
Mm.
that's how she became one of the founders of Appetite for Change. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because her work, what she's done, and what she continues to do in the community is one of the reasons. It was five good reasons why we started Mothers Against Gun Violence. But when she said that, it took my thinking in a whole nother approach. So many moms and dads and families and parents lose their children. And I don't want to, sound disrespectful. I want to sound like a real black woman when I say they need to follow that model. That and we could take a survey like, what are you doing now, mom? What are you doing now, family? Princess has gathered her whole entire. She has brung into the fold. Look at all of us on your podcast.
Yes.
She's created this synergy of support and love. And she knows now, because she asked me this question earlier. And I told her, yeah, she knows what I'm saying, yeah, too. I said, yeah, try it for 2 or 3 months, see how it goes. But Princess intentionally has created this synergy of love and support around her. And I always see the opposite happening to families after the death of a child. Most times it ends in divorce if the parents are married.
Yep.
The sister goes off to college, the brother goes off. We don't really see him that much anymore after Johnny died. And so the families kind of have this, the death is the disruption, but Princess, with all her might and her wisdom,
Amen. Amen.
she has created this bond with us. Jesse, we was just at his birthday party, turned all the way up.
All the way up.
She has created this synergy and love, and I'm so glad that she's able to continue to off of this tragedy, like build on top of it something sturdy, something unshakable and unmovable. Because most families put it on top of that trauma, and what happens? Two, three, four, five, a year down the line, it crumbles. She has
Yeah.
really created something strong, something synergetic. And I tell Princess all the time how wonderful she is. Because I ask her this all the time. I don't know how you remain so strong in this tragedy, because Phat Phat. So this is how I know Phat Phat. I used to hear when we would do youth events, somebody saying he cute, or he's this, or yeah, that's Princess's son, or he hangs out with so and so. And so he he knew who I was because I came around sometimes, but he was such a, I mean, if you when you see the video, he looks exactly like Princess. First of all,
Yes.
he's
Yes.
a spitting image of her likeness. And I have to say this to Princess knows me, so I don't have to shrink back. If Phat Phat was alive right now, he would be so proud of his mom and all of her works,
Wow.
because Princess is really, I mean, she's everywhere all the time doing everything, and I love how she has just really through this, how she's really grown and encouraged and inspired not just me but other people that she took. We was just at an award. Princess got a philanthropy award at this predominantly white women's philanthropy fundraising um organization, and
Mm.
it was so amazing to hear those women talk about how wonderful and smart Princess is. So I know if Phat Phat was alive, he would be proud of her. But I love what Princess is doing by keeping his memory alive and not letting us forget him. So I truly, have to commend her for that and bringing us all together.
All right. All right. I didn't want to cut you off, Shinashi, because I want Princess to take all this in. All this love, baby. Your folks
We
is
long
giving
winded up
you
here.
tonight, baby. Yes. So let's go ahead and bring up old Jesse. Jesse, now it's your turn. It's your turn, Jesse. It's your turn. Let go the doorbell. Who is it, Jesse? It's you. Jesse, we do need you to unmute. And you are unmuted. How are you? Oh, we can't hear him. We can't hear him. And he got it unmuted. It is unmuted. Okay, Jesse, come down and come back up again. Try that. Because he was able to hear everything. We was able to hear him at first. So I don't know what occurred. Kimberly, we're gonna bring you up, Kimberly. Can you hear us? Can you hear me, Kimberly? Okay. Yeah, she ready, girl. She ready. I forgot your
Peace
doorbell.
and
Go ahead.
blessings, beautiful people. How y'all doing?
Hey, Kimberly, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
It's wonderful. Kimberly, please tell us your relation to Phat Phat.
Family. When I first got introduced, he was this little chunky thing. He couldn't walk. He couldn't do nothing but just sit in the middle of the bed. He was just this little chunky little light skinned baby. And from there, I watched him grow and evolve into the young man that he was becoming. You know what I'm saying? Just so energetic. Always cracking jokes. Always had me smiling. Extra pepper on the macaroni and cheese. Like I that was my brother. Come to find out, it was more like a nephew. When we talk, we have to talk about the mom, like where he came from. And that's love. That's
Yes.
energy. And that's a healer. You know what I'm saying? She's a teacher. And that's who I strive to be every day. You know what I'm saying? A better version.
Oh,
Because, like, she's just so gentle with you. But she's also strong and tough when she needs to be. Like, ain't no weak people around her because she's not weak. She's very
I
strong.
can tell from
I'm
the
just
just for
saying,
talking to her
like,
over the phone.
man. And she's a go getter. But
Yeah.
for her to just really teach us all that, you know what I'm saying, enjoy this moment now, and love your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? Say it and,
Mhm.
and, and do it every day. And, you know, continue to just strive and be better. When I say she's teaching, I'm talking about from the food, to the stretching, to the meditating, giving a different perspective, a way to think, and all of that just trickles down to her legacies, her reflections, and you get close enough to it, it's very contagious. Now she rubbing off on you. And now
Exactly.
she's making sure that hey, you're putting this into the community. She got me having a little garden outside. I'm trying to grow my own fruits. My
That's
thumb
what's
ain't
up.
green, it's brown, but hey, with love and through practice and determination, anything's possible.
Yeah.
But I don't want to
Exactly.
take up too much time about the queen because I can go forever. That energy is just pure and it's beautiful. And it's very contagious.
I can't
See,
wait to meet this person.
I'm gonna have to do another side show. This is the sideline. Well, I'm gonna have to do another show with just Princess, and y'all coming up
Okay.
here just telling us more and more and more about Princess. Princess seems like somebody that Peachy Tea Tyme need to know. Okay, we all need to know Princess.
Well, if you don't know, now you will know.
Exactly, exactly. Now we are about to bring up Jesse. Can you hear me, Jesse? All right, he can hear us. Now I need you to unmute yourself, Jesse. Oh yeah, yeah, we can hear you. I wanted to just do a little practice run, but before I do my introduction of Jesse, not Jesse, Jesse. Cause we over here on Peach Tea Time, baby, and he Jesse over here. Jesse, here go your doorbell. Hey, Jesse, how you doing?
Y'all, I'm doing good. Y'all can hear me and see me fine. I apologize. It's been a lot of technical difficulties on my end. I
It is
apologize.
okay. It is okay. One thing that I always let people know is when it has to do with technology, and then on top of that, we're live. It's not pre-recorded or anything like that, and we're live on what 2, 4, 6, 7 different platforms. You just never know what's going to happen. That's number one. But number two, the devil never wins when it
Oh,
comes to
amen.
Peach Tea Time, baby. He never wins. Okay, so I just thank you so much for joining us tonight, and please tell us your relation to Phat Phat.
Well, that's my little brother. That's my baby brother. I'm the oldest of two. Well, it was three of us. Uh, that's my little brother. It was my best friend. A lot of people always thought we was twins. Like whenever we went to like a new school or something, they'd be like,
Mhm.
they'd definitely be off us. Like, like, oh, they so handsome. Like we just always got all the love. And my little brother definitely just stood out from everybody else. And he was an amazing individual, and he had a crazy amount of love through the city. And I'm just glad I got to have him as a little brother. And he was almost like a big brother to me too, like in a way, like
Mhm.
because he was putting me on with a lot of different things. But yeah, that was my baby brother, and we miss him so much.
How many years apart were
We
you
was
and
like Irish twins, we was so we was about like a year apart. When he passed, I was 17, he was 16, so yeah, we was about like a year and some change apart. But we was like
okay.
Irish twins almost. You really couldn't tell that we wasn't the same age, or who was oldest and who was the youngest. But I always made it clear that this my little brother. Like you get little brother, little dog treatment until you. But as soon before we passed, he got the bulking up on me. He got the getting big on me. He didn't even want to play on the same hockey team as me, football team as me. He wanted to get his own identity. And I respected him for that. And he was more turned than me before he passed. He was way more. He had it. He was the golden one. He was for sure the chosen one. Like he was for sure the chosen one.
Now, you said all the ladies was after y'all. Shanasha said that all she was hearing was he was cute. So I know everybody out there like, well, what did he look like? Just in case you didn't see the flyers, here is Phat Phat.
Yeah,
Girl,
yeah.
Princess, he looked
It
just like your ass. Hey, sorry, Jesse.
Nah,
Sorry.
you good. You
But
good.
he looked just like y'all mama.
You definitely
Spin
do.
image. Literally spin image. Them cheekbones, all of that.
Mhm.
Very, very handsome. You and your brother.
Thank
Very, very handsome. Now
you.
I'm married. I'm here, Jesse. Okay, you only gonna get that one time tonight. That one time, cause my husband sitting right on over it. Now, just play. Look, he like,
Oh
no, you're
no.
not. No, you're not. But no, thank you so much, Jesse, for showing up tonight. My heart goes out to you. You know, it's two different things. You know, when a mother loses a child, that's big. You know, but when a brother loses his sibling or a sister loses his sibling, that's big.
Yeah,
See
for
what I'm
sure.
saying? It's big just as well. So my heart goes out to you. My
Yeah.
heart goes out to you. Okay. And we are here for you tonight. We are
Yeah.
definitely here for you tonight. Y'all
Like,
peoples is out there for here for y'all tonight just as well in the chat. But
mm-hmm.
now, y'all, we are about to pull up Princess. Princess like, hold on. Let me get this. Let me get that last little thing together over here. We are about to bring up Princess, y'all. Again, I'm so honored to have her here tonight, along with the family and friends just as well. Princess, I love you. I love you. I love you. And thank you for trusting me with your baby story. All right, y'all, let's give her that doorbell. There she go. There she go. She said, wait a minute. You ain't the only one who lives gonna be popping tonight, baby.
That's her stuff anyway,
She
lip
said
gloss.
her lips gonna be popping too. Hey, Princess. Oh, Princess, is she on mute? Yep, she on mute.
Might be muted, mom.
Yep, she muted. Let me see. Hold on, y'all.
Okay,
There it go.
there I go.
Hey, hey, girl. Hey, Princess
Hey, girl,
Titus.
hey. I was like, you could ring my bell.
Hey, ring my
Uh,
bell.
yeah.
Princess, before you say anything, I have to
Uh-huh.
ask you this because I was wondering this all day today. I didn't think about it when we talked on the phone, but I was wondering this today. Is Princess your real name, or did you
It
come
is.
up with Princess?
I was born Princess McDaniel, married Princess Titus, married again, married again. Kept Princess Titus because Anthony's name is Titus. So I kept Titus, and it sounds good. Princess
It
Titus.
sounds
Like,
good.
I like that. I like
I
that.
love it.
Um, Anthony actually went by Prince Charming. Jesse goes by Prince Cray. My daughter is Princess Anne, so she's like junior. And so the royalty, both of my grandmothers are born on November 11th. So I really feel like it's something divine about us written in our DNA, that there's maybe little secrets through our names and birthdays and connections that kind of tell us who we are. So,
Wow. Well, I love the name Princess Titus. I really do. I really just love it. But Princess, please tell us, because we already know you the mama. We know that. But tell
okay.
us about Phat Phat when he came into this world, baby. Take us to the beginning.
That was actually I conceived Anthony on my birthday. And
Mm.
I just remember that now. September 11th, right? And he was supposed to be born on Father's Day that year, but he came out the day after, like after the 19th was over. He was born June 20th. He was breastfed. He had no cavities. Even though he ate hella now laters, he always carried a bottle of water. And a cardinal is right in front of me right
Hey,
now.
hey.
I'm on the block for people who are watching. I'm on the block. I'm right across from where Anthony passed away. So I'm on the block of
I
28th and
noticed that.
Fremont. Yep, I'm on 28th and Fremont, North Minneapolis. Anthony didn't like pain though as a child. I remember when he rode his bike and he fell and he cried. And my grandmother was like, "How long is he gonna cry?" And I was like, "My children don't fall and hurt themselves." Like, but we splashed in puddles, we collected worms, and he really was a loner. Like where a lot of people loved him. Jesse always reminds me of this. A lot of people loved him, but he was a Gemini. He was his own twin. He wasn't really fucking with none of us. You said we could cuss. I love cussing.
Yes, we can.
As long as my grandson's not
Princess said,
listening,
I
because
love
he'll
cussing.
hold Prince. My grandson will hold Princess Titus accountable for her curse words. But
Yeah.
Anthony didn't. He was like his own. He was like he was gonna pave the way. He wasn't gonna do what everybody else was doing. He was a great cook. He made amazing scrambled eggs. All the pictures his teacher sent me of him, he was always asleep in classroom, like that. And I don't know how he passed and got such good grades. And then when I went to conferences, they was like, "Yeah, here's a picture of your son." And I'm like, "He's asleep. He's asleep. He's asleep." He was a thumb sucker. He sucked his thumb, so if he shook your hand, he had his thumb up, so you couldn't touch his thumb. He was in trigonometry as a freshman when he was at Cooper. He went to Cooper. He had asthma, and so he loved to follow in his big brother's footsteps though. Like low key, because Jesse said Anthony's the golden child, but Jesse was the golden child, and so he looked up and aspired to be his brother, and sometimes would, be the middle sibling and fart in the fan, and just all of the prank stuff. He introduced my daughter to rap music, which I didn't approve of. He had a condom box, a Vans shoebox with 54 condoms in it, and a list of girls' names. So I'm happy I don't got 54 grandchildren. Cause it was going down that summer. I knew I was gonna be in trouble. And at the same time, he liked to spend a lot of time alone. He had a beautiful handwriting. I still have some of his high school. I carry a high school notebook in my. Actually, I'm carrying one of his high school notebooks right now because I'm preparing to go and do a victim offender dialogue tomorrow. So I got his notebook with his handwriting in it. It's good to see his print and his penmanship. And I would call my boys like this instead of going cray fat. And so whenever I'm somewhere in a store and I'm hitting one of those low moments, I'll just hear somebody randomly like. I'm like, nobody does that. You know what I mean? So he's definitely, when Shakina says she still has a relationship with him now, and I want to thank everybody who said all the things they said about me. I needed to hear that. That was really good for me because I don't have to say who I am. When people are saying who you are, that means you showing up how you supposed to show up in spirit and in truth. But Anthony, when I'm really low, his ancestral spirit is strong, and he'll tap in and he'll let me know I'm on the right path. He'll let me know I'm on the wrong path. He'll help me find stuff. You know what I mean? And I think there's a part of this life and this continuum of life and transitioning from physical life that I think we miss out on because it hurts so fucking bad. Like, we be so distracted by the pain. Like, excuse me, could you get the car off my body? You know what I mean? Could you put it in park, bag it up, and trying to supervise people and how to tend to you? That we miss out on those spiritual connections that we still have access to. And I've been privy to sit stand on the shoulders of Mary Johnson, a woman who forgave the man who took her son's life, her only son, and sit at the table with 11 other women like Jesus and his disciples. Because there's so many women who've lost their children in North Minneapolis, but the 12 that showed up at Mary's table, they all taught me something. And the women that I serve right now, I have the courage to be in space with them when I don't know what to say, and then God tells me what to say when it's time to say it. But then I usually say something to them, but I usually hear something for me. And I think the evolution of this grief journey of healing, it's not grief just as a standalone. I don't want to be grieving forever. I feel like they took my shorty. They owe me everything. Like, as low as I felt, I'm gonna have to soar as high as the stars because I deserve it. The devil wanted to get a 2-for-1. You don't get no fucking 2-for-1 with me. You don't. I ain't smoking no crack. I did smoke 6 pounds of weed when it first happened, but I'm single. I'm sober. I'm single. I don't have any vices. And well, there are a few gentlemen, maybe, you know what I'm saying, but they could be my vices. They could be my vices this grief season. You know what I'm saying?
Look at Jesse. Jesse.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Thank you very much.
I'll be PR.
It'll be anyway. But that journey of healing to not be I don't want to do it the way other mothers did it. I don't want to be fucked up. I don't. I
Yeah.
want to be fly. I want to be clean. I want to brush my teeth. I want to eat. I want to eat good. I want to laugh. I want to be around my family. I want to be around people who know how to, who just know that it's, oh, that I know they sad and they know I'm sad and I'm not scared to hear his name. I love what you're doing. Like, I didn't know what it was really, and I looked at some of the other ones and I was like, well, what is this gonna look like for us? You know, for my family, is my
Me
son
too.
gonna show? Like, you know, are people gonna show
Yeah.
up for me? Sometimes you don't think they are, and then just to hear about him and to remember him and to see Jesse smile.
Yes,
Like, I mean,
Jesse.
honestly, Anthony has his final. It's our mission to do this. Me and my son made a decision in the spiritual realm for him to
Yeah.
transition and me to stand up like Mamie Till and say, open that damn casket. But for me to see Jesse smile, like, that's the real son I'm trying not to lose. You
Yes.
know, Princess Anne is the real child I'm trying not to lose because I don't know if they see truly that my acupuncture and chiropractic and massage and therapy and hydrotherapy and colonics and quantum neurological reset therapy and cranial sacral work and gua sha work and fascia work and acupressure
Iridology
and
and
aromatherapy and sound vibrations, that all these things are real
You
to
better clock
move
that
that
T.
pain from out my body, and it is possible. If I could say anything to families when I see them, it's been 15 years. Some
15
people can't
years.
go to the cemetery on Memorial Day. I'm at the location right now. My baby got hit at that fence. I got the crime scene photos. His hat fell off.
Don't be over there too long now.
I'm got Paul on me. I'm okay. I'm open carry. I'm concealed. I'm licensed and registered. He got hit right there. He ran back there and died right there. The party he was trying to go to was right there. A 2-parent household that invited us.
So tell us
Tomorrow
what
I'll
happened
go.
that day.
He was with some young men who he hadn't seen in a while, and a group of young boys and a young lady driving, asked him what set they claimed. And I guess Anthony and his friends said nothing. And they drove around and they parked in the alley and they masked up and they came out and they said, "What's up now, little nigga?" Traditional TV show shit to me, like what we've been programmed to do and say to each other when there's so much violence happening to you as a child. And they hit Anthony one single bullet and he ran and he basically bled out internally. And Jesse and I were at the falls with Shakina. And when we got the call, I had just graduated from Metro State with my teaching degree, and I had the house with the white picket fence. We painted it black. We had the dog and the 2 cars and the hockey kids and all that shit sunk into the soil. And now here I am, trying to make sure that that motherfucking ammunition truck that spilled on the freeway didn't just drop bullets off accidentally in our community.
Mhm.
Um,
Amen.
here I am. Here I am.
Now, Princess, I definitely want to talk about. There's a few things that I want to talk about, and I know there's some things that you want to talk about just as well. But I want to go back to um, when the guys were standing outside on the block. Can
Mhm.
you tell everyone about that? And it's a
Oh yeah.
reason, yes, it's a
Yes.
reason why I want you to tell
Mhm.
everyone about this because I want to make sure that I tell everyone the question that I asked you when you told me
Right.
this. So go
Right.
ahead.
So the young man was standing on my block. You know how kids stand on a block and then they name the block. So they had named it T Block. And I jumped in my Crown Vic. Cray, I don't know if you remember, but I jumped in my Crown Vic and I started doing like donuts in the middle of the street. Like, get off my block. Like, y'all can't stand down here. They like me. We T Block, Miss Princess. And I'm like, take that shit down the street by your mama house, your grandmama house. I said, I'd be damned if one of my children
Shit, yeah, I remember that.
gets hit by a bullet intended for you. This was after that little girl was sitting at her kitchen table doing her homework with her dad and was hit by a stray bullet. And I remove everything from the universe on the north, south, east, and west end because I spoke that, and that was the grief I had to carry with me, knowing that I spoke death. I didn't speak life. We're supposed to speak them life. I spoke it. And what was your question when we talked about that, Miss Peachy T?
My question, you guys, the princess was, is that something that she still struggle with to this day? That she feels that she spoke it to existence and it happened.
Yeah, yeah. But I think the first sign of everything, or one of the first steps of everything, is acknowledging. So I don't speak shit no more. You know how we be like, I told my son if he hang around with those boys, you gonna end up dead or in jail. I'm not speaking death. I'm not. And if I do, just on that's just what we used to say in the foul stuff, or we've been programmed, or we've been saturated, or we've been drudged with this negativity, and now we're calling it our culture. I'll remove it from the universe. Jesse knows he's left me, and I've said something negative about him, and I've said, oh, no, 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 no. Hey, I removed that from the universe, so the north, south, east, and west end. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. I take it back because I know I'm human. And then
Exactly.
I'll see him survive a situation by the skin of his teeth. So we have to be careful. And I've said with many a women who said, I knew it was going to happen. And I told my son, and I'm like, well, did you know it was going to happen and did you fight it? Or did you know it was going to happen and you spoke it and you birthed it? I
Amen.
can't take the chance on birthing nothing. I can't birth death anymore. I can't. I cannot, not at all. So thank you for sharing that. And that was my
Yes.
one guilt, was that I said it. My other guilt is that when he wanted to move to Canada and play hockey, I didn't move fast enough.
Mm.
Uh, Maybe if I would have got him out the environment. I ran from Chicago 30 years ago to avoid gun violence and ran my ass right to North Minneapolis, and my son ran his ass into a bullet, and now I'm running down the block to make sure that at some point in time I'm going to turn this yacht in the middle of this ocean, and I'm going to do my part as a grain of sand, as a drip of water, to change the trajectory to the point where at some point in time we're not going to be having these babies while we're young and we're in the violence. And when they're growing in our homes, they'll feel love. They won't hear negative music. They won't be told stop crying. They'll be able to feel their feelings. They'll be able to play outside, and no weapons will come into our community to form against us and prosper.
Amen.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Amen. Now I want to bring Jesse up. Jesse. Jesse.
That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey,
Jesse.
Jesse.
Yes, ma'am.
Jesse, I gotta ask you, okay? You was
Uh-huh.
the older brother. You wasn't the older sister. You wasn't the twin sister. You was literally the older brother. Um, how did things go in your head when you found out that your brother was murdered? And Princess, we're gonna talk about that too. Don't let me forget the word murder.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um, yes, Jesse. So how did all that resonate in your brain as the older brother? Because you know how some ninjas are. We
Yeah.
ready to go out. We ready to fight. We ready for revenge. All that. So
Yeah.
how did all this work out with you?
It was, whew, it was a battle, because that's like I came up from that, like all my guys, it was just like just off back, just want to handle it their way, but the way my mom was just so, it just, I don't know, like it was just, I can't, it was just so spiritual, like that shit was like the passion of the Christ or something, like it ain't, I don't know, like it ain't. They didn't. I ain't even had no time to go slide or do none of that. Like they caught the people that killed my brother right in front of me and my mom. After we just sat down and had a conversation about, is we finna, what we finna do behind this? Is we finna tear the whole city up, or we finna, you know, try to change the narrative with all this? Like we was sitting down having that conversation, and the grace of God, we see the car that they say was connected to my brother's death. And the police swarmed right on them on the same block we live on. So I didn't have no time to really like want to even seek vengeance or nothing. Like personally myself, I can't speak for none of the guys, but personally myself, like I didn't feel like my brother died in vain. I didn't feel like his. I felt like he died for a reason. I felt like he died to like bring us closer together, to save. Like I don't know, like it was. I dealt with a lot, but I ain't. I ain't see myself trying to go out and slide behind that, or none of that. Like I just knew like I couldn't check out, because I had to be here for my mom and my little sister and my other mother, and I had to be there for my community. But it was hard though. Like I was only 17. I didn't know what to do. I really didn't know what to do.
And where were you at? Jesse,
I
when
was
it
with my
happened?
mom. I was with my mom, and at that time, me and my mom wasn't even tight like that because I ain't gonna lie, like I was gang banging. I was in the streets. I was full fledged gang banging in the streets, and still doing like other community stuff. But it was going down, and I felt like I wanted to spend that day with my mom. You know, I ain't seen my mom in a minute. Me and her was bumping heads. So I'm like, let me spend this time with my mama. And I got that call. A young lady I was with had got that call, and we was walking up to the fireworks. And this young lady I was with got the call, and I turned around and looked at her, and I could tell by the look on her face something was going on. And I walked around like, what's up? And she like, they saying Phat Phat just got shot, and the fireworks go off, boom, 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 boom.
Mm,
I run up on my mama like, what the man? Hey, we gotta get to the hood immediately. They saying my little brother. My mama literally prayed the whole way there. She said a serenity prayer. That's why I said it just was. It wasn't like. Oh, it was so spiritual and so powerful. Like it was so many things that happened before my brother died and after my brother died that I can't even explain. But it just made me feel like he was just still here. But to answer your question, I was with my mama. I was with OG and we was watching fireworks go off. Well, we found out.
wow. Jesse, what type of changes did this death, this murder, do to you as a whole?
I mean, good and bad. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I was, like I said, I was 17. I was a star hockey player. I was getting ready for my senior year, playing hockey, trying to get scouted, go to the league. Like, shit was simple. After that, like, I was like, I was shit on the fence. Like, am I finna be in the streets or I'm finna do this? So, like, it kind like for 6 years of my life, I don't really remember what happened. Like from 17 to when? Am I like what 22? When I finally went back to
Mhm.
school and graduated, I was just out here wilding. I was just doing whatever, wilding, just trying to have somebody else feel this pain I was feeling. Every time I
Mm,
walk in the house and see my mama cry to this day, I still deal with that. Walking in the house, my mama crying from June to July. My mama sick, and I be wanting somebody to feel that, but good and bad. I got more good from it though. Now I'm a family man. I'm put up in the suburbs, taking care of my kids, doing what I'm supposed to, but I'm still dealing with that pain. The little bro gone, and dude, and them still alive and breathing.
exactly. I'm gonna bring Jason up because Jason loves to have these little conversations with the men when they come on the Peachy Tea Time. So I'm gonna let Jason say his thing, his stuck thizzle.
For sure.
The part that I'm loving, man, is the 180 that you put on us. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I want to praise you for the work that you put in on yourself and how hard you stay there to be the family man that you said. Princess, the whole time you've been on this live, your head has been up, you have been vibrant, and you have been glowing. And I appreciate the love and the sentiment that you bring to this podcast right now. And the way that you guys are so connected, everyone from Kimberly to Shakina to Shanisha. I'm sorry if I said that wrong.
Shanasha.
Shanasha, thank you. To all of you, the way that you guys utilize the vibrant source of our higher power is amazing. And I want to say thank you for that. Keep your head up, Brody. I know that this is the hardest thing to do is to always like talk about it and bring it back up because you never know what emotion pops up out of nowhere, right? The anger that could pop up again, the joy that can pop up again, and I want to say thank y'all for being able to have us with you along for that journey because it doesn't stop here. Phat Phat is still ringing. Like Princess, you said it when you first started talking. The cardinal was in front of you. So he's saying to you, go
Yes.
ahead, ma. Talk your shit about me, ma. Like I'm with you. We got this. You got this. It's a blessing
That's what I was
that we
wondering.
get to talk about all the accomplishments and the blessings that I brought to the family. And as far as in big bros go, man, I kind of got a little soft because I'm like, man, my big brother's still around, and I just wish that I heard the same thing that you spoke about your little bro. But you know, with y'all being Irish twins and all, y'all besties, man. Y'all the homies. You feel me? So
A one
keep
and a
your head
two.
up, keep talking about him, man, and keep him ever so in the front. especially since you have little ones, man. Let the little ones know Unc's still around and Unc gonna always talk to him because if you do know, then you know what's up. But if you don't know, Unc been talking to him already. So just solidify that when they were little, or if they are still little and they're just randomly talking, that's what they chilling with.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm gonna bring up Shanasha. Shanasha, hey boo. What's good, Shanasha?
Hey now, hey now, hey now.
Hey, now Shanasha. One thing that a lot of us, when we come onto these platforms, we have our families with us. Majority of the time we have a lot of families up, but then you have friends that come up just as well. So please let us know, like, how hard or how easy has it been being there for Princess and the family, and
Me and
especially dealing with a death of her son.
me and Princess had this conversation one time, and again, she knows I do not uh mince my words or shrink my conversations back to, safeguard her heart. Because I do try to talk as real as I can. Princess said she kind of felt like people had disappeared because they didn't know what to say or how to say it. Like, how do you talk to a mom whose son has been killed? And so, me and Princess, I don't know what it is. We just have this connection. We just she talks about everything. I talk about everything, and it's so super insightful. But Princess, she is a guide, so she knows how to protect herself. So she does a good job, especially when talking with people about herself. Cause like the Bible says, you still got to protect your heart. And so I've just been there when she needs me to be that ear for her. But she does be asking me stuff, and I do answer honestly and tell her, like, yeah, I think it's great, or no, I don't think that's a good idea, or no, that's not the language we use, because I moonlight as a therapist, as a LPCC. And so I try to be therapeutic to her, giving her the real information. Cause a lot of times we don't get the real therapeutic information. We get like what Facebook is saying and what Shaquanda said and what Ray Ray and them said. And Tyrone was in this situation, so he said this. So I try
Hmm.
not to give her that. I try to give her the real information that's true to clinical psychology, so she can understand what her brain and body is doing. Because when you lose a child, your body chemically it changes. We talked about one time, Princess had a period. She wasn't supposed to be having one. Well, that's because her body was in distress,
Wow.
and her womb, how it felt when Phat Phat passed. I'm gonna call them cramps. The cramps that you get because your body knows that you've lost a child. And so I've just been an ear to Princess. I've also soon will be dubbed and crowned and knighted to be Princess's Anne's godmom. Because I in our friendship that has grown over the years, I really have tried to support um Phat Phat's brother and sister. I've loved Lupa since day one anyway, but I really tried to support um the family because so, and Princess knows this. I have a lot of ties to Africa. So in Africa, this is exactly what would be happening, exactly what we're doing. This is exactly what we would be doing. We'd be circling around her and securing her her future, because when a trauma has happened, it uh it can rearrange your whole family environment, like the way you think, the way you interact with people. Some people, after the death of the child, they can never go back to work again, because if
Yeah.
Miss
Yeah.
Benny say something to me today, I'm cussing that girl. She's getting it. So we don't even have the temperament anymore to deal with things after a death in the family. And that's what I've been to Princess, a ear, a friend, and just somebody she can lean on um if she needs to. I don't know. I didn't hear her share this, but tomorrow her and Shakina are gonna go so she can say her, they call it an impact statement. And today I told Princess, cause she, and this is the I'm gonna tell you the character of who she is. She said she didn't want to say to the boy that murdered her child, she wanted to like be I don't want to use the word reserved, but be like, she didn't want to say anything to hurt him. And I said, oh no, you keep it real with him so he can feel the impact of what he's done to your life, what he's done to his siblings, what he's done to this community. She was even thinking about how he would feel if she said certain things that, she had planned to say. So I really have just been, somebody she can talk to, somebody who will listen to her, and somebody
All
her
right.
to encourage her.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Well, we're gonna bring up Shakina next. Shakina, you back, girl. You
I'm
back.
here. I've been here.
So you guys are going tomorrow
Yeah.
for the reading of the impact statement. Is that what it is?
It's from what I know, it's called the victim offender dialogue. So this is a dialogue.
It's a dialogue.
It's
Okay.
literally a dialogue.
How are you feeling about this going tomorrow?
Um,
Are you
I'm gonna use the
nervous?
same word in the beginning. I'm present. I'm present. Um, speaking of like the day of, I just will never forget. When everything, I won't go through all the details because I do details and I'm an emotional person, so I
Mhm.
won't go through all the details. But when that moment was happening, it almost seemed, like slow motion. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like this thing was going on. It was slow motion, but it was also happening really fast, all at the same time. So it was like a domino effect too. So it was like, when the word went boom, 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 and then I'm walking away doing a phone call, and then one of my sons comes and says, "We got to go." Phat Phat got shot, and I'm like, it sounded dumb. I had just got off the phone with him when we got to the park, because he was originally supposed to be with his mom, and then Craig ended up being with his mom. And again, when I couldn't find her, I called him, and when he couldn't find her, he called me. So I had just spoken with him, when they had got to the park. So this didn't make sense to me. And then so I went home, as we've been talking about Lupa, Princess Anne, the sister, baby girl, she came to our house. And so the whole time I'm like on the phone, people are calling me, asking me what's going on. I have no information. And, a period of time went by. A guy that we used to work with said that he was going to call the hospitals, all this stuff. And then he was going to get back to me. When he got back to me, he said, he had called all the hospitals, everything. There was no Anthony Titus at any of the hospitals. So I was like, okay, yes, cool, let's go. Let's make it work. But I hadn't heard from her and it had been hours. So I tried to reach out to her, and someone else gave confirmation that the hospitals, the person is not doesn't go to the hospital, when there's a passing, that they go to the morgue. So then it was an instant crush. And then she got on the phone, and I'm emotional, and I'm like, I'm the other mother. So I'm like, I'm distraught. And she gets on the phone and she's normal. And I didn't want to meet her with my sadness. And so all I could say was, okay, I see that you're ready to fly right now, you know? So if you're ready to fly, I'm gonna fly with you. But I just know, like, as a mom, like, I've lost a baby that I didn't even get to spend 16 years with. So I can only imagine. So I told her, "But when you're ready to crawl on the ground, I'm gonna be ready to crawl on the ground with you." So,
Amen.
I said all that to say that's where I feel like that's what we're getting ready to go do tomorrow. And I could be wrong about that, but I feel like this is the part that, who's ever heard of someone being bold enough, being brave enough, being ready. We've had to do some prep sessions, and like Shanasha said, like she was kind of going into this in this with this distinguished mode, but like she said, I don't know if she mentioned it. She from Chicago, and so she ain't a Gemini, but she also got a couple personalities too. And I'm like, listening to some of the things that she's been going through, lately or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I know Princess wants to go in like this, but what Mika got to say? How does Mika feel about this? Because I know Mika's going to feel different than Princess feels. I know Mika is very upset about what happened to her baby, and I do feel like that whole being needs to be brought into this, especially if this is going to be any type of notch on this healing journey. That the whole part, you got to bring your good side and your shadow side. And I do think with this being, my uncle's birthday, like I said, he's been gone since 1999, and the impact is still there. And so letting them know like this since we cussing, this fucked us up. This was really fucked up. And it's been hills and valleys. There's been a lot of fucked up moments, and then there's been a lot of embracing moments and happy moments and cherished memories and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's been a void. Um, and even though he hasn't, like she said, like he shows up, he shows up, and he show out, and he let you know it's him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Undeniably. So, but nothing is like when you get to hug a person, and when you get to hear their voice, and when you get to see their growth, and all of that. So I feel like this is a hand holding, and this is a sisterhood, and I don't know, like a back brace, I guess,
hmm,
is what this is going to have to be, so that we can get to the other side of it, or just at least get through this process, and for to be an example too, to let
exactly.
people know that that this can be done if you're that person to do it. And is she really going to do it?
Squabble them, squabble them. What they talking about? They talking about that. What they talking about? They talking
That's
about that.
been
What they talking about?
that's been her inside joke. So, but now here we are. We're on the brink of it. It's tomorrow. There's no turning back. There's
Tomorrow.
turning back, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to say this before we go into our commercial break, because when we come back, we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to give Charlotte the opportunity to really, speak on this just as well. I don't even think me and Charlotte even talked about this, to be honest. But all my flyers, and it's not just Fat Fest flyer, everyone's flyer on Peachy Tea Time. You guys, always put the word murdered on there if that was the case. If that was the case, if it was, let's say, suicide, then I'll just put the birth date and then the death date. But when it has anything to do with murder, whether it's gun violence or domestic violence, I always make sure I put that on there. And the reason why I do that is because I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody walked through my dog. I'm like, why my dog ain't barking? My dog just got a haircut and he acting brand new right now. So why he ain't bark right now? I'm trying to figure it out. I swear to goodness, he act brand new right now. But yeah. So the word murder, I put it on all the flyers. Now, if a family come to me and be like, could you please not use that? Hey, okay, I'll take it down. Now, when Princess got the flyer, now I got Princess phone number, baby. I got the phone number, okay?
Right.
I got her phone number, and we was also talking through Messenger. So when I sent it to her, I actually messaged her and gave it to her through inbox and through her cell phone. So I'm like, why she ain't responding back? Because I put on there, I said, let me know if there's any corrections that's needed. She ain't respond back at all until the next day, Charlie. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, did I do something wrong? Is anything wrong with the fly? Did I misspell a name or anything like that? Because I always make sure that they send me the spellings of the name. But of course, anything can happen while you're typing. So when she reached back to me the next day, she actually had, I'm not gonna say she had an issue with it, but one thing that I liked about Princess was she may have had an issue right then and there, but she thought about it. And I'm more than sure that she probably prayed on it just as well before she responded back to me. So when we come back, y'all, from after this commercial break, that's what we're gonna talk about. And I never talk about that on any of my shows. Been doing Peachy Tea Time for 4 years. And was this the first time that came about? No, it was not the first time. So I've never talked about it, but we are definitely gonna talk about it with Princess because I love what Princess came back and told me. And Charlotte, being that you are the counselor, I definitely want you to speak on it just as well. So, y'all, let's go ahead and get into this quick little commercial break, baby, and we'll be right back. Hey, y'all, it's your girl, The Missus with the kisses, baby. Mwah. Or you can call me Miss Peachy. Thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight on Peachy News Edition, one of my favorite editions because we have the families that come on. So if you are a special guest family on tonight, thank you so much for joining us. And most importantly, thank you for trusting me with your loved one's story. We also got my co-host Jason. What's up, Jason? And we also have our counselor lady, Miss Charlotte. Hey, boo. Thank y'all so much again for joining us each and every Wednesday where we turn our platform into the family's platform. So make sure y'all tune in 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on Roku TV live, also live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. I love you guys, but we gotta get back to the show. Oh yeah, we're going back. I'm on mute. Okay. All right, y'all. We are back. Then I did take I took Shanasha, Shakina, and Jesse down. Okay. So right now it's just me, Charlotte, and Princess up. Princess, you are on mute at this time. Um, Charlotte. Now you just heard everything I said. Can you hear us, Princess?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, when Princess wrote me back, Princess said, I'm not gonna read exactly what she said word for word, but Princess was like, well, I saw the word murdered, and it kind of didn't sit right in my spirit at first. But she was like, I get it. She was like, you gotta call it what it is. And that's basically all that I do. I call it what it is. Princess also mentioned that a lot of the other words that she had been saying is kind of like, would I say pacifying the situation, maybe? Like when at the beginning of the show she said passed away. She didn't say murdered. I caught that. She didn't say, she said passed away. So Charlotte, as a counselor, lady, what's like? Is it more of a bigger trigger for mothers, or even just not just for mothers, but anyone that lost someone through gun violence?
So I think we all have to learn to deal with things the best way that we know how. Our bodies react, our minds hold on to how it is. I think from what I've heard, and I'm gonna just use this word because at first I heard the word strong that came up about Miss Prince's. Well, I the character that I have made up in my head is just regal. It's regality. It's something about her essence and her spirit that necessarily just rings out. And so she places things how she compartmentalizes them best for herself. And so if that's what she has to do in order to be able to do the things that are possible for her, how she has moved on and created these bonds and all of these different things. And it's like I've just really been paying attention even to trying to listen to how she was before the death of her son, and even after. It's like this third eye has opened up. Like it's just it's been
Yeah.
a just this spiritual awakening that has been created in her. And we never know. And we hear that saying all the time, that God don't make mistakes and that things happen for a reason. And I'm a true believer in it. And it's hard to put that in the place of when your child, when it happens to your child or someone you love, it's hard to put that in place. But in this case especially, I think that she has created a world around her where she is determined that she is going to fly. And she said it herself, I could stay in the basement, but I choose to live in the attic. And but that's what she's
There you
doing.
go.
Hey, hats off to you. And I know that you say it, and you said it, and you mentioned it about speaking life into things, because I often said, and that's one of my biggest fears. I've often said, how would I react if something happens to my child? And I always say, I put it out there and I'm gonna bring it back in, as you said. I'm gonna because I said I'll be in a little ball in a little corner somewhere. I've always said that when you see these commercials and things, when people talk about the death of their children, and the strength that they do have, and just to be able to carry on for the next day. I we all know that death is just something that's going to happen to all of us. We never know when, how, where, or whatever, but to be able to garner that kind of passion for other people, to know that this is what I need to do in order to be able to go on, it's regal to me.
All right. Now, being that we use the word murder, um, how do you feel about it as a counselor here on Peachy Tea Time?
But it is what has happened to individuals. Um, even when I think, and I think she went away, Miss Princess went
Yeah.
away, but even as they were talking about the impact statement that's going to be made on tomorrow, I see her as an empath, a more so, necessarily. It's hard to say how you would react. We think that these are the things that we would be angry and mad with someone who did something, but we know that there's always grace, somewhere. And that these are still, again, these are children. They still little boys, little whoever, whatever, their circumstances or whatever. And I think just in her heart of hearts, Miss Princess has found it in her heart of hearts to be she is an empath, and she knows or feels whatever it is, and she wants better for them. And so those are the words that she's choosing to speak into their lives. So she's being very careful about how she speaks to them, even going forward. Regardless of her feelings and what it has done, she knows that that's still a life. You're still speaking life even tomorrow when you talk to them.
Exactly. Princess, you are on mute again. I'm gonna need you to unmute yourself. I can't unmute it, unfortunately. I don't know why, but it don't give me the opportunity to unmute you. Um, but that is one of the things. Excuse me, y'all. She trying to get it going. Let me bring back Shakina and Shanasha and Jesse too. Jesse has his camera off, so I don't know if he's still alert with us or not.
I'm
Um,
here. I'm here.
you are? No, I know you're here. I was wondering if Jesse was still here with us. Yep, he's still
Yes,
here
ma'am.
with
I'm still here.
us. Okay. Um, yep, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. Now,
So you were asking me about the comment murder, or I
exactly.
missed the question because it locked me out.
Yes, the word murder, how, is put onto the flyers and everything, and how it's hard at times for you to say that your son was murdered. So let's talk about that. We had already previously talked about this, so this was something that we wanted to talk about on the platform just as well. So go
Yeah,
ahead, Princess.
definitely. And Dr. Charlotta hit on it truly. Um, but to be intentional with your words, if I have a gash on my arm, you know what I mean? It's like having a scar that they're gonna have to tend to and stitch, and then it's gonna set up an infection, and then I gotta take antibiotics, and I gotta go to physical therapy, and I gotta be in a sling, and people gonna be asking what happened, and I gotta guard my arm when I come around
corners, making sure nobody bump it. And then after it heals years later, I'm gonna have a scar that's gonna remind me. And when I talk about that scar, I'm not gonna say, well, I had a gash and it had an effect. I'm not gonna go through that whole thing. I just want to be able to lean into the fact that it healed, and that I do remember that I was able to survive it. So saying that Anthony was hit by a bullet intended for another child actually means when I look at who was in it, he was impacted. Like when we talk about primary, secondary, and tertiary trauma, they were primarily impacted. We were secondarily impacted. So when I'm able to say he was hit by a bullet intended for another child, it gives me a full 360-degree view of all the victims involved in this system, because we all in the hood together. I don't know nobody who don't know nobody who ain't in jail for a body.
Yep.
I don't know nobody who don't know nobody who ain't no steppers. We birthed these children that are out here in these streets playing these bus sport games. So how am I above it? You know what I mean? And to talk about it so harshly hurts my wound, and I'm already hurt. And so to be able to tend to myself in a way, I found a softer language. I also, when I work with families impacted by gun violence, they don't want to hear, they're not triggered. They're activated. And when you're activated, you can deactivate because the word triggered is triggering. Or families who had people pass away from self-harm, when people come into their jobs and say, hey, how you doing this morning? They say, I'm hanging in there. Even if they weren't hung, self-harm goes with hanging. Like, we have a really violent language. We have violence in our schools. We have violence in the pollution. We have violence in the 38 fast food restaurants. We have violence in the stereotypes. It's so much violence. I just don't want a violent language, not to myself. So as I started to be compassionate with myself, because the people around me who loved me didn't know how to do this, I wouldn't say that Anthony was murdered. The reason why I was okay with you saying it is because I was with a woman, and she said, she asked me if I really did the real work. And I said, shit, I don't know. I think I swept the middle of the floor and mopped it. I didn't get under the couch yet. And she said she didn't say that. So there is a spiritual part of this, that when two instruments are playing at the same time, that you hear a third sound. So when I'm in space with women courageous enough to just be present, like Shakina and Shanasha and Jesse and other people have, I get to hear the divine, the creator, the inner power, and the higher power tell me which way to go. And people be like, they understand the assignment. This ain't a fucking assignment you understand. It's one you just show up for and you go that way. So when I give myself a good grade in life is when I'm not doing the same thing. So when it said murdered, it's time for me to look at it and look at it like it's murdered. It's time to, I've looked at it tender for 14 years. And tomorrow I will go look at the person who has something to do with this crime and did this harm. And I don't want to intentionally harm them. I do want to know what they think about the whole situation. I want to know what violences they have happened to them in their life, because I have a theory about it. I'll be writing a book. I'm a few chapters into Before, During, and After the Bullet, a Black Mother's Theory about gun violence, group and gun violence, and group meaning police violence as well. Um, and I just don't want to know what happened. Like, I don't need to see your math. I know what happened. I know the answer. You know what I mean? My son's not physically here. I don't want to hear. I know they might need to say that. It's just I ain't everybody else. So anything I do, that shit gonna hit different. Type shit, like the children say, right? It's gonna be a little different. I need the parts that mean something. I need the parts that will reveal to us solutions, so that next time I see a mother with her two sons, I don't have to look into the younger brother's eyes and communicate to him, because he might die. It bothers me to see women with two sons. And it's always that younger one that look at me like I know. And maybe that's just what I'm projecting. So this being able to say that Anthony Titus was murdered, and then I asked Miss Peachy Tea to add after he was 16. Because I remember there was a time where the life expectancy of a black man was 18, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when they shot Anthony, I went, damn, I thought it was 18. Like,
Yeah.
did they change the numbers? And they're speaking that. We're receiving it. They're telling us our truth. And if I can not speak it as a way to not continue to promote and plant those seeds of violence and death in our community, then I won't speak it. But on tomorrow, I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna step into it. Thanks to you, Miss PTT. You lined up as divine. I don't know how we
Mhm.
connected for this time for me to
Exactly.
go in there tomorrow and meet the young man who murdered my son.
Um, like I told you, I always feel like everything is God's doing when it comes to Peachy Tea Time. It's not easy, Shakina and Jesse. It's not easy reaching out to families. I don't know what these families is gonna say to me. But I thank God. I thank God. I thank God. I thank God that I've never, ever out of 4 years had a family to cuss my ass out and be like, do not come to me at all. Like, I literally have a family right now that they like, okay, I'm ready to come on. And it's a father. And his daughter was murdered as of today, 10 days ago. As of today, 10 days ago. And he said, I'm ready. He's taking care of the grandsons. You know what I'm saying? So when I tell y'all my show has a purpose, I have a purpose. Charlotte, Jason, my husband that comes on Fridays, we all have a purpose. And we enjoy what we're doing. We hate that it's, in this manner, but somebody got to do it. Somebody got to do it. And I tell everybody, God built me for this. I get people tell me all the time, you're going to have counseling. Don't speak that shit up on me. I'm not going to have counseling because God already made me, built me for this. I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to. Now, Jesse, this is what I want. There's a couple things I want to say to Jesse. Can you hear me, Jesse? Yep, you can hear me. I thought you was
Yeah, I
frozen.
get you.
Um, as the big brother, your little baby brother gone, still got your mama, and you got your sister. Now you got your kids. Okay? You are like at the top now. Now I have to make sure that everybody good. Now I done lost my baby brother, but now I gotta make sure everybody good because I know that's how a lot of men think. Am I saying that that's right for you to think that way? I ain't saying that, but I'm just saying a lot of men think that now I'm at the top. I gotta take care of everybody. Is that something that you deal with right now as a man that you feel like I gotta take care of everybody, even though mama? But do you feel like I gotta make sure that this don't happen again to nobody?
And if I'm being honest, like, um, man, damn, I'm still just shocked that my OG really finna go holler at them tomorrow. I'm still there. I've been, but yeah, just taking care of everybody. But nah, not really. I've been that for so many years. I'm trying to make sure I'm good.
Yes.
I gotta focus on me. And,
Yes.
I gotta lock in with me. Cause yeah, I can't be there for nobody. I know it sounds cliche. You can't love
No.
nobody if you don't love yourself. You can't be there for nobody. But like, I was there for so many people. I was so accessible for so many years. But like, I just want to be. But if I am being there for somebody, I'm gonna be there for me, my mama, my sister, my other mother, like the women in my family. It's really I don't play about the women in my family. Everybody else, y'all can figure it out. But the immediate women in my family, like, nah, I ain't gonna play about them. Like, whatever they need, if I could be there for them, helping my mom just carry soil or empty her trash, empty her recycling bin, or give her a couple dollars, or just be there for her to talk, or whatever it is. Like, I'm for sure gonna be there to make sure everybody decent.
I could be wrong, but I get a lot of families when they come on Peachy Tea Time. It's always somebody that says, I didn't know that they was feeling that way. We don't
Mm.
discuss it. We don't talk about it amongst each other. And that's kind of, and I could be wrong. Princess. I could be wrong, but I'm starting to get and feel that you are hearing some things from Jesse tonight that you haven't heard yet. Like this is feeling real good to you to be able to hear Jesse come out and say some of the things that he's saying tonight. Am I right or wrong? Am I right?
You are. I mean, I haven't seen him sit. I mean, I've watched his body language. He sat. He had a background. He zoomed out. He was Jesse. Then he was Cray. He was 17. Then he walked. His body had to move. And when he sat in it, he started to think like she finna go in this prison and meet with them. I haven't kept anything a secret from him. But we haven't had that deep conversation. But I mean, and me and Jesse, we bang, we covered, we gangsters. We gonna talk about
We
everything
talk
under the
about
sun.
everything. You gotta
When he was talking about, we was saying what was we gonna do. I was doing gang work. I knew where all the cliques was. I could have just read North Minneapolis of they whole gang problem and wrote my books from Shakopee. And Jesse said, "Don't make nobody else feel like that." And so when he off, I'm on, and when I'm on, he off, and we be that balance for each other. But I would want him to care for him, and I'ma care for me because we are individuals. We're two pieces. We're two pieces in a different puzzle. Is how I see it, and I ain't ducking shit. And if I have to, and he's heard me say this, and I thought that's why we bumped the last time because I've told everybody in the hood, leave them damn kids alone when they come home, because they were children too.
Yeah.
And you even asked why was there no news footages, because I wouldn't carry that narrative of the number 23rd shooting, one more boy dead, the parent is mad. I didn't continue the narrative, so they had no newspaper, they had no news articles on, because I didn't carry that narrative of, oh my god, no, this shit got to stop, and I'm ready to show up for that. But I've even told the dudes, they like, man, Miss Princess, we gon', you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, then I'll pick them up from prison. If that's what I have to do, if I have to pick them up and drive them so far and let them Uber away from me so I don't know where they are, which I can't be in their presence because we like have lifetime restraining orders against each
Yeah.
other. But leave those it sounds stupid. You shooting somebody because somebody shot somebody. You shooting somebody because somebody's like, and you making everybody crazy, and you're perpetuating the role of white supremacy or degeneracy and racism and capitalism to keep the black man out the family. And so if that's what you're participating in, I cannot participate with you. I will have to do
Amen.
whatever is opposite
Amen.
of that, regardless of how crazy it looks. That's what I gotta do.
All right. Well, y'all, we are about to get into this tribute video, baby. Phat Phat Memorial tribute video is coming up right now. No more next, no more soon. It's coming up right now. So here we go.
We had our memories. We had our time together. It's hard that I can't see you now. See you face to face. But I know you in the sky looking down. But it's still hard to tell. That you're not here physically. Yeah, it gets emotional sometimes. Yeah, it gets hard because you're not here and you're gone away, up in the sky somewhere. I hope we meet again. I hope I see my love again. Yeah, it gets so difficult to know you're not here, and oftentimes I cry to sleep in tears. But I hope I'll be up there one day, to see your face again. I know you in a better place. I know you're at peace up there, where there's no fears, there's no tears. But I can't lie, I miss you down here. I pray to God that you was in my life. I can't lie that I feel alone because you're not here. Yeah, it gets emotional sometimes. Yeah, it gets hard because you're not here and you're gone away, up in the sky. face again. I see your face again. Oh, oh, oh. Until I see your face again. Yeah, yeah.
Baby, when I tell you, Princess, God said, you know what?
Can
I'm
I say
glad to
thank
take.
you for
I'm just
landing
finna take.
us?
Look, he said, I'm just finna take Princess face and just put it on this baby right here. Like he looked just like you. Oh my God. So handsome. Jesse, you are just as handsome, just as well. I mean, I don't know what did we see Princess? Was she in one of the videos? What you could
No,
Princess
Princess
Ann.
Princess A.
Anne, she put
Princess
up.
Ann.
We keep her put up.
Yeah,
She
yeah, we keep
Okay.
her put
she
up.
like
Yeah.
Shanasha's daughter, really. She don't really mess with us common folk.
Yeah, she was a little different.
She a little different. She a little different. Well, how is it with Princess Anne? Was it hard? Is it still hard? Like, what is she going through right now?
Yeah, it was
Uh,
definitely hard.
yeah. And I mean, Princess Anne was a third grade, a 3-year-old reader. And so, and I know Miss Charlotte and Shanasha could even speak to this because I was a teacher. And so when after Anthony passed 5 days before her 5th birthday, and the wake was on her birthday. And I just needed him, I
Oh,
just needed all of that to be over. And I wasn't really
yeah.
thinking, I was in spirit. Um, and she walked around asking everybody for money that day. You know what I mean? Like at 4 or 5, she was able to see this is the opportunity I could capitalize upon. But it wasn't until she wrote her first high school essay, college essay, that she talks about playing behind the casket with Shakina's son, Shawan. And it was so beautiful. And so she's in creative directing, and she likes all things pretty, but she became dyslexic. Like after that, I remembered her being in the back of the car reading Skippy John Jones. I mean, my daughter had read so many books. She would read the dictionary at 4. And she had read so many books, she wouldn't let me read her books. She would make me make up stories, and she would draw the pictures. So she was over books.
Right.
And after Anthony passed, she was sitting in the back of the car one day, and she said, "Mom, this isn't what this book used to say." And I have a writing sample because I would let the children write on my white outfits when the school year ended. And she had wrote her name backwards perfectly, and started it from right to left. And so and she can feel where it switches in her brain and hits a different path. But she's definitely on her grief journey of healing. We don't see grief as a standalone. We're putting grief as a journey of healing because there's an opportunity to heal there. And she's on that. She has boundaries, she has standards, she has morals and values. She's going to Hawaii on a solo trip. She leans into her healing, but I will say now that she's acknowledging, probably just as Jesse's acknowledging, where I've been on this grief journey of healing for 14 years, and Jesse spent the first 6 years still in shock. And then maybe the next few years, like, damn, what am I supposed to do? And then Princess Anne kind of ignoring or avoiding or in denial for 13 years. And I've been showing up at groups, and but I feel like my healing is spiritually an umbilical cord, planting seeds and showing to my children what's possible. And I was, even after you showed the tribute video, hoping that this lands Jesse right, because I think when we open up that grief, you can't just open it up and just leave it all messy out there. You got to land it on that up note. So, and you set that intention, so that can be a circle that maybe you loop back through again, knowing that you have that attention. You don't stay right there. You don't open it and let it hurt. You don't peel a scab off the whole gash on your arm and then go all the way back to the hospital. You don't do that. If you unpack it, you don't move it in. If you move it in, you don't stay there long. And so it was good to see him come back and smile, because I often feel like, as good as I'm doing, when I open it up, I process with that bitch, I dance with that, I lean into that grief and I cry for 19 hours checking emails, listening to songs, and writing poems. And then I come up out of it and I'm good for a little while. I ain't ducking it. And I really wish my children could do that instead of avoiding it and then coming up to the point where it's all broken. Because then I be feeling good, and then I be looking at him and he be fucked up. And then I be looking at her and she be fucked up. And then I be looking at my mom and I be like, can I really show them what a crash out looks like? And my spirit like, nah, you can't do that. So just thanks for landing us in that video. And I saw somebody put in the chat, is there support for families like this through Standard Edition Women? We have a Facebook group. We do a virtual circle every third Saturday of the month. And for parents of murdered children, we hold the Twin Cities chapter for families, and siblings can come to that who are grieving the loss of somebody who was murdered. And they have a big conference every year. So we do the Twin Cities chapter. But I talk to everybody. You could call my number 24 hours a day, 612-440-8488. And I'm going to answer. And I'm going to go back to sleep too. Ain't no bags under these eyes. You ain't making me miss my
Girl, you look
acupuncture, my massage, or
beautiful.
my self care. But I do know how to sit in space with people. So I just wanted to respond to that.
Okay, okay. What? Go ahead, Charlotte.
And Princess, you mentioned a few minutes ago, I think as an example, as you are being and have been for your children, like because the roles are different and grief looks different on different people, but what you're doing just sets an example. But their lives, because they're so much younger, and so their lives on top of the impact of the trauma that they face, as well as life's just traumas that it gives you, happens to look different from where you're sitting at, but you're giving them a great example of how to still keep going, how to keep moving, how to press on. And so just know that know that, don't doubt anything. They're just going through what life gives. And so you are a walking example to them. So just know that.
All right. Well, we have came to the end of the show. So I gotta ask Shakina. Shakina, is there anything else you want to say before we end the show?
Ooh, pray for us. That's all I can say is just, pray for us. Whoever you pray to, just pray for us and be there with us and lift us up in mind, body, and spirit as we embark on this. I feel like the whole thing is about to be a journey. There's
Yeah.
been, and I'm gonna make it really quick. There's been so much stuff for me this week in regards to silence. So, when Princess, we have these talks, and sometimes we're all over the place, and sometimes it is, are you really going to do it? So I was thinking, I'm like, should I tell her that we should be silent on the way there, or we should be silent on the way back? I don't know what she needs, so she can get my little preface now. But I don't know, just pray for us, because like she said, this is
Always.
not, we don't understand this assignment. We're just going to fulfill it.
All right. Well, thank you so much again, Shakina, for coming on the PGT time. If you don't mind just staying on just for like maybe 2 minutes, if that,
Mhm.
after I end the broadcast, I would really appreciate it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, of course.
All right. Now, Shanasha, is there anything you would like to say before we end the broadcast? And I just want to say thank you for your energy, baby. Thank you for coming. You were absolutely amazing. Thank you. All of you were amazing. Shit.
You know, I want to say this to you, because I don't need to say nothing about Princess. I want to say to you that I really appreciate um, you and this show in giving us an opportunity to share with the world, because there's so many parents out there um, who have lost their children, and Princess is, if I can say, a template or a model for how you can do it, because you can do it. And so thank you so much for allowing Princess to come on the show with her family, now your new family, to share this with you, to
Yes.
share with the world. Thank you.
You are so welcome. I'm getting emotional over here. I know y'all seeing me wiping my tears. Sometimes some people speak to me and I feel it. And it's something about Shanasha's spirit, y'all. And I know I keep saying it, but it's something about her spirit that I just feel like I gotta get to know her. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I gotta get to know her. So again, Shanasha, thank you. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. I receive everything that you're saying. I definitely do receive it. And thank you so much. And please, if you could stick around just for a couple minutes, after we end this broadcast. Now we're gonna bring up Jesse. Jesse, we finna go on and go. Is there anything at all that you would like to say before we end the podcast? And I definitely want to tell you thank you because you could have told your mama to hell with them folks. We ain't going on there. So, so thank you so much for trusting me with your brother's story. I really appreciate it.
I just want to thank y'all for allowing us on y'all platform to tell my brother's story and share it over to all these people all across the world and hearing us out. I ain't gonna talk your ear off, though. I just want to say thank you.
You are so welcome, Jesse. So welcome. Now, my co-host down there in Minnesota, so I know I'm coming to Minnesota before I don't know when. But when I come, I'm reaching out to y'all because y'all gonna show me
Oh,
a
for
good
sure.
time.
In
I
the
already
Oh,
know.
no,
summertime.
for sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
in the summertime.
In the
So
summer. In the
Jason,
summertime.
oh, well, thank you again, Jesse. I really appreciate it. And if you gotta go, I understand. But if you could just stick around for a couple minutes after I end the broadcast, I really appreciate it. All right, now before we bring Princess, before we bring Mama up here, let's go ahead and bring up Charlotte. Charlotte, and let me tell y'all why I'm doing this because everybody that watches the show they know why I'm doing it. Jason and Charlotte knows, but whoever's watching for the first time, the reason why Princess was actually the last person to come up on the platform because she's mom. So with that being said, she's always going to be the last person to come down because she's mom, which means Princess, you gonna end the show tonight, baby. Don't worry, don't even worry about it. I'm tell you what, I'm ask you a question. All you gotta do is answer it. That's it. So, Charlotte, is there anything you want to say before we end this broadcast? Girl, you look so wide the damn awoke tonight.
It's summertime.
Baby,
It's
school is out,
summertime.
baby.
It's summertime. No, seriously, but it is a beautiful story. It is a story of, I mean, I'm gonna just call it what it is. The word that comes to mind is triumph, regardless of, it is a testament again, regardless of the lemons that life gives you, you just make lemonade out of it. And it seems as though this family, they are standing by and holding one another accountable and holding each other up. God makes these, he puts people into your life, and they might not be your blood people, but he just puts these connections in your life, and it seems as though this is a really connected family of other mothers and other fathers, but they have joined together, and it is a beautiful thing. And Miss Princess, you know, just the story. And again, I'm going to use the word empath just to be able to, regardless of what it is that you feel or see or going through, you know that there's a story behind whatever else happened. There's a reason, there's a because, there's a, and people, when I say that all the time, they look at me, you always trying to find the good, because there is good. We just have to dig for it, and some people a little further down. But we know that people become who they are because there's a story behind it. And it seems as though Miss Princess really understands that life happens to people because of the stories that it is given due to environments or rap music, whatever people want to say or whatever they've experienced. And so it's a beautiful thing. I appreciate this. Was a great day today.
All right. Well, thank you, Charlotte. I really appreciate you. Each and every Wednesday you are on here, blessing our families, blessing me and Jason just as well. So when I tell you, I thank you, I thank you, I thank you so much. I love me some Charlotte, y'all. I love me some Charlotte, baby. She boots on the ground. She be out there helping me in the community and everything. I love her. But now we're gonna bring up Jason. Jason, what you got to say? And don't forget the water thing. I love that.
Don't don't forget the water thing. First and foremost, man, I got a couple things. I'm gonna start with my brother Jesse. Uh, Keep your head up, Playboy. I mean, he's not on here, but hopefully he can hear the message. My heart pours out to you, fam, just because I know how this feels. I didn't lose a brother, but I lost a cousin that was like a brother. Him and I grew up, and I know what it did to me for the first 6 years. We're probably on 11, 12 now, and I know what it felt like, and I know what I went through, and I know how hard it was to like regain stability in life. I had my oldest at the time, and she was a baby, but what I knew was is that I had to pour into me. Right, someone came to me when I before I started my journey with therapy, and I always stick, and it's the cliche thing: you can't pour from out of an empty cup. So find ways to continue to pour into you so you can pour into your family and then your immediate family, like you said, the women in your life. But that is most important, before anything, because it hits different when a black man says, "I'm tired," you know. So when we say that, listen a little bit harder, have a little bit more intent when talking to someone, or if someone's in your space. Just be intentional about how you feel and how you move, and I think you're working on that as we speak. Secondly, I want to speak to mom. Mom, you said something earlier, and I just through the whole show I sat on it, and one thing that Shanasha said, and I think even Shakina spoke to, and it came to my mind as the nucleus. Like, you are the nucleus to the atom of village. So when I continue to hear like your guys's mission and your movement with soul and it's just all the things that you're doing in community, and even when you spoke to talking to the children that or young adults that are now going that you're not going to go talk to, you still spoke to how do we preserve village. And I don't think anyone that I've been in close proximity to have spoke village the way you guys have, and it hit me to the core. And I love that, because if we don't preserve our youth, we will have a tragic future, and we won't know what real promise looks like. I've always said it, and I'm gonna continue to say that our youth, anybody that's in the range of 10 and up, all have superpowers. And if we give them the ability to start using them, they will do some phenomenal things. And it sounds weird, but I like really mean it. And I think you might know more than what, like, where I'm coming from with all of the natural and holistic things that you partake in through your lifestyle. You get where I'm coming from. Like, we all have this superpower, but I think the older people we are detached from it, and the ones that get it get close to it, and we take our time with things. We are more present with things. We are intentional with things, and we want to be able to teach that to our youth. And I love that that's something that you have an idea of, and you're pushing and working that agenda. So I'm going to be looking you up, and I'm going to be doing my best to connect with you guys here in the city. So then that way we can continue this great work that you ladies and family are doing. Now, what she speaks is this. I want to tell everyone I built my own business. It is called Best. Being empowered starts today. We live life, we love unconditionally, and we seek growth. When you do all three, you're in your alpha state. Stay primal and get after it. Last but not least, protect your peace and drink water. Protect your peace and drink water. Like my big brother TJ will always say, whatever you do, make sure you do it big. God has blessed us to be absolutely phenomenal. And if we don't pay attention, or if we let our ego edge God out, we will never get our true blessings. So with that, if God loves you, so do I. I'm out here.
Clock that T. Clock that T. I know y'all wish I had a co-host like man. I know. I know. I
Hey,
know.
stop it.
I know. I know, but you can't. He all mad. You know, I'ma share him with Princess while he talk about something. I'ma look you up. No, Jason, you gotta look her up. Just call me and I give you the information. Okay? Okay? I knew this was gonna happen, Princess. I knew this was gonna happen with two Minnesota folks on the show. But no, 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 no. I would love for you to connect with Jason down there in Minnesota. I mean, so much can happen. Jason is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Jason, you got something to say?
Up there, up there. Remember, you're in
Oh, that's what you
Georgia.
talking about.
We're we're in we're in Minnesota. We're
I'm like, is
nowhere
he telling
south
me to
of you.
bring him back up?
We're nowhere near no south. We're not south of you.
Let me bring Jason down. You know, he always try to correct me, Princess. But I love it. I absolutely love it. You are on mute, Princess. If you could go ahead and unmute yourself. Everybody, I am gonna let Princess in the show. Thank you all so much for joining Peachy Tea Time on tonight. Make sure you tune in on Wednesday. Wednesday. Make sure you tune in on Friday with me and my husband, where we do love and relationships, and we throw some crime in there too. Y'all already know. Y'all know I'm just crime, crime, crime. So make sure y'all tune in 9:30 on Friday. Now, Princess, when I tell you, I just thank God. I thank God for allowing us to cross paths in on this earth. I always tell people, I used to tell people when Drake came out with that song, No New Friends. I wasn't doing PGT time, of course. And I remember just always, no new friends, no new friends. No, I don't need you to be my friend. No, I don't need you to be, I got my friend. Baby, when I tell you God opened up my eyes when it came to Peachy Tea Time. So, Princess, I just want to say I thank God for you. I thank God for having us cross paths. All of that. All of that. I wish I could have met old Phat Phat look, I'm just gonna say it, with his fine self. With his fine self. I wish I could have met him. Um, Usually I have the mothers speak out to, and this is not all the time, it's just whatever God put on my spirit. But a lot of the mothers, I have them talk to the killers. That's not what I want you to do. That's not what I want you to do at all. God is telling me to tell you to do something else, baby.
Okay.
And what I want you to do is talk to each and every one of those mothers out there that is still in their head and embedded in their brain right now. I gotta go for blood. Let them be wherever they at. Let me go call right now, so they go and get them right quick. Cause somebody die every day. Every day, somebody getting murdered every day, y'all, out here in these streets. And everybody ain't like Princess. They're not. Some people cry till they can't cry no more. Some people even die of a broken heart because they don't know how to go no further in life. But I want you to talk. I don't even want you to talk to them. I want you to talk to the ones that can sit there and find themselves right along in prison for the rest of their life, along with the killers, because they're not able to, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't know what to do or what and how to do it. So please, please talk to them. Let everyone know how they can find you just as well. If you would like to be on somebody else's platform, let everybody know where they can find you. All right. She got to show y'all.
Well, first of all, I gotta show y'all I'm really right here, and what's going on right behind me, right? Yeah, I think somebody may have lost their life right behind me as I sit on this block having this conversation. And so when you say something to the mothers who, or the fathers, or to the brothers and to the siblings, to those of us who have survived this situation, for us to not continue to perpetuate the situation, it's a choice. And you can choose to be consumed by what happened to you, or you can choose to get from under that grief and process it. Give yourself permission to process it. And if you don't have somebody who can be that grounding with you, like life has this ebb and this flow, and after the loss, after any loss, it could be cancer, it could be abortion, miscarriage. I'm tripping because I lost my virginity. Like there's so many things that we lose, but as Black people, we don't get a chance to really grow through it. We just kind of avoid it and want to feel better. And like Jesse said, you feel so much pain, you want somebody else to feel it and understand it. I think we can come to a common consensus that we all feel it and understand it. The whole world felt it when George Floyd said, and before that, the whole world felt it with Fruitville Station, right? When these young men are snatched, these young women, these babies, these children, these lives, these hopes, these dreams are snatched from us. Charlotte said, life give you lemons and you make lemonade. Life gave me lemons. I ate them bitches whole. Like I still eat whole lemons. I've eaten a few stickers, some seeds, some rinds, some peels. Like if it happened to me and I perpetuated, I've seen it. Because I've been in it 30 years, 14 years of it has been my journey. I've seen women participate or know that their cousins or nephews or nieces retaliated, and then it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. So how, if you're not a part of the solution, then you're a part of the problem. And the first thing you have to be is a part of your own solution. Get in the support group. Reach out to us on Standard Edition Women or the Standard Edition Women. They're both us. So like he said, look, he's the first person who got it right. We call ourselves so because we have to, men, we have to heal. I also want to say to all the Black people that's listening, like these ain't the days when our loved ones were lynched or tarred or feathered or sold, and we had to go warm the bed of the master or feed the babies of the woman master, and go back to the fields and pick cotton and not grieve and heal. If we got bread to buy sevens of weed, we got bread to go get a therapy session or a massage and feel better and allow that somatic body healing or that trauma to get up out of your body. A lot of this is not our culture. Rap music ain't ours. Hip hop ain't ours. All those things have been commercialized, and we feed the violence and the culture of this death based narrative to our children. And so you're a part of it. You're a part of it. You want to do something different about it. You can't pull yourself up by your bootstraps. It's virtually impossible. But you don't have to become what happened to you. I remember people would say, Princess, what's wrong with you? Because I say some super foul shit. We've turned it into comedy called Momedy. We do a comedy show in August in Minneapolis. And people be like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, well, you know what happened to me. And then I got tired of saying that I didn't want to be what happened to me. It's like I had put it on top of my identity. So that regality, that purpose that I was supposed to be born for was being drowned out by the death when the purpose was supposed to be refined by the loss. And so I took that off. And now people don't ask me what's wrong with me, because I'm growing through what I'm going through. Do you think a caterpillar knows when it climbs up the tree and does that back bend and drops down off that leaf that it's about to become a bag of blood? And then something feeling like it's hugging it too tight and it's going to bust out a butterfly? It doesn't know. Allow whatever processes or whatever pain points you're feeling in life to lead you to somebody who is where you think you want to be. I'm not saying I'm the end all be all. I aspire to all the women. I learned the most from women who are day one. I'm finna get off this phone call right now and call the woman that I was supposed to call earlier. Um, and I'll learn something from her. And she's in it just a few days fresh. So, like, don't give up on yourself. Or not. You choose. Give up on yourself. But know that when you give up on yourself, you're saying, if it's drug addiction, if it's fentanyl, if I overdose, if my children are in prison, if I'm evicted, if I lose my home, if I'm homeless, don't reach for me. If you don't fight for yourself, then you sign that disclaimer. and say, don't reach for me, or you declare that you are a child of the Most High, that you have purpose, and your purpose will not be skewed by what happened, that bitter cup you was handed, that people before you have also been handed and they've survived, and that you might not understand the assignment, but you're going to show up for it. And at the end of it, you'll rest. You'll rest too. Lean into that ebb. When that water go out, let it be out. Stand firm on that sand. Look at the sun. Enjoy it. Have a margarita, laugh. Don't be afraid to be happy because your child passed away. Happiness is still due you. I think that was a big piece. I think we've learned in the Black community that the harder you grieve, the more you love the person. No. It's your job to make sure, like this, that their names are continued to be said. And if you can't talk because you are so broken, how are their names going to be said? I believe in you. I believe you can do it. If you want some individual time with us or one of our gun violence trauma doulas, reach out on the social media platform. This is the hardest thing you'll ever have to do in your life. You don't have to do it alone. And thank you again, Miss Peachy Tea Tyme and your team. Y'all so fly. I love that your lip gloss be popping. So you had me at lip gloss. So I was like, I'm in the right place.
Oh shit! I had to come back up. Thank you, Princess. Thank you so much. Thank you for definitely for touching on the mothers that feel like they can't laugh, they can't smile. They have to just always be sad and down. Thank you for speaking to those moms just as well, because I do see moms like that where they don't know if they're grieving enough for their loved one. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Well, y'all, we finna be out of here. But don't worry, me and Princess friends now. So this is not gonna be the last time that y'all see her. I promise you that. Okay. So we finna go ahead and clock that tea, baby. And we finna end tonight with some more Phat Phat, baby. Let's see this tribute video one more again. And I will be sending it to you and everyone that was watching tonight. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do with the tribute video. The song was actually made just for Peachy Tea Tyme, so it can be put on any platform. They will not take it down, baby. So here we go.
We had our memories. We had our time together. It's hard that I can't see you now. See you face to face. But I know you in the sky looking down. But it's still hard to take. That you're not here physically. Yeah, it gets emotional sometimes. Yeah, it gets hard because you're not here and you're gone away. Up in the sky somewhere. I hope we meet again. I hope I see my love again. Yeah, it gets so difficult to know you're not here. And oftentimes I cry to sleep in tears. But I hope I'll be up there one day. One day. To see your face again. I know you're in a better place. I know you're at peace up there. Where there's no fears, there's no tears. But I can't lie, I miss you down here. I pray to God that you was in my life. I can't lie that I feel alone because you're not here. Yeah, it gets emotional sometimes. Yeah, it gets hard because you're not here and you're gone away. Up in the sky somewhere. I hope we meet again. I hope I see my love again. Yeah, it gets so difficult to know you're not here. And oftentimes I cry to sleep in tears. But I hope I'll be up there one day. One day. To see your face again. I know you up there.
Peachy Tea Tyme. Peachy Tea Tyme. Peachy Tea Tyme.